Welcome to another episode of Asking 10 Questions, where we interview well-known folks in the car community to get to know a little more about them. Today we're sitting down with another huge automotive YouTuber with over 1,200 videos ranging from reviewing cars to building a wide-body kit for his Mark V Supra. From 370Zs to wide-body 458s. Insane SEMA builds to one of the best looking RX-7s I've ever seen. Today we hop on a call with TJ Hunt. Welcome back to another episode of Asking 10 Questions. We're here with TJ Hunt. TJ, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's early. I got my bagel here, so if you see me chewing in between, I'm sorry about that. But I'm good, man. I'm excited. This is a cool opportunity. I loved your guys' video that you did about all the cars and stuff. So I'm honored to be here again.
Awesome. Okay, so you got the Breakfast of Champions. We're ready to hop into this. All right, question number one. You started off doing paintball videos. You quickly got into cars. What made you switch, and how did you get into the car community?
It's kind of happened all at the same time, honestly. I've always been interested in cars. I think I remember back when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, around that era, me and my friends at the time created like an actual like car club. And we didn't have cars at the time, but we had like a little binder and like this car sheet that was like the club list. There was only like 3 of us on it at the time, but we would just download like pictures of cars that we thought were cool, like Vipers and Murcielagos and Diablos. That was like relevant back then. And we just like always like knew every like fact, like brochure fact about every car. And then that kind of like knowledge and passion carried with me throughout the years, not till I turned 16, till I got my license, so I got my first car, that I really was like really into cars. And I almost got like a Toyota Camry as my first car. And then somehow I convinced my dad and he got me an E90 BMW, and that kind of like started the real like trend. Yep. And then I always made videos when I was younger. I always had like an iMac like this, and I had iMovie. So I was always tinkering with like stupid little short comedy sketches that I had on YouTube at the time. And then when I got my car, I started to look on how to work on it. And there were some videos out there, but that's kind of like how they merged together. I'd always done the, filmmaking on iMovie. And then I started looking up how to like do plastic dip wheels and how to change your intake. And they kind of just slowly merged together. And yeah, that was kind of like the real start of the channel.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, there's definitely that turning point. I think like all car enthusiasts, they really enjoy cars, but then when you get your first car, that's kind of when everything changes, you know?
I think it's like you finally get that new toy you always wanted, and then you kind of just like opens the doors to what's really out there. And I agree. I think once everyone gets their first car, like you can really enjoy cars without having one, but then when you get one, that's when the obsession really starts.
Exactly, yeah. And then shout out to editing on iMovie. I remember that as well.
Yeah.
All right. So question number 2. You start off being inspired by Subaru WRX fan and that dude in blue. Mm-hmm. Now that you're an inspiration to so many other car enthusiasts that want to do a YouTube channel, what advice do you have for them?
Damn, you've really done your homework here. I think the biggest advice that I could give is to try to be your own character, to try to be your own person. I think back then it was a lot different. When I started, there wasn't 100 different channels to look from, and there was like 3 channels that were out there, and that was really all you had. So back then when I first started, I was like, well, there's David who does like reviews and only reviews, and there's Subaru WRX fan who does, again, mainly just reviews. And at the time when I started, I watched car stuff, but I didn't watch car stuff for the people. I watched them for the installs, for the information. But at the same time, I was watching people like Jesse and Gina, like this is like OG ass YouTube, like Smosh era, like the original, Cade Goes to College. What are some like crazy ones, like Ryan Higa, like some original, like what vlogging like really was like before. This is like pre Casey Neistat. So when I got into it, I was like, well, I love cars, I love vlogging. Why don't I just my mindset was like, yo, I'll film the cars and show all that, but what no one else is doing is like showing them and showing their perspective. So when I started, I was like, well, I'll be different because I'll use the cars to like bring people in, but I'll use like my life and my friends to like suck them into the universe. So
Who's that?
I really tried to do something I hadn't seen before. There was no one at the time who did vlogging or like really showed their personal life. So I found something that was unique to me. And I think at this point in time, you can't be somebody else. You can never be a better TJ Hunt. You can never be a better That Dude in Blue. You can't be a better Adam LZ. You can't be a better Fitment Industries that already exist. So if you watch them and you're inspired, use them as inspiration, but don't copy them. You'll never be better than them. They're their own person. So I think it's really important to just really go with what you have. And you don't need a Aventador to make YouTube videos. You can have a Honda Civic. You can have your parents' hand-me-down Honda Accord. You just have to understand that it's more about you and not about what you have. What you have is cool and it brings in views, but you don't need that to start. That is super important.
Definitely, yeah. I think being yourself is huge because nobody can copy that, and you're not copying anyone else when you do that. And then also just, enjoying it and having fun with it, I think keeps the drive and the passion to keep on doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard. It's hard to be original now because there's so many different things out there. It's every day you wait, your chances of becoming big are harder and harder, but it is possible. It's just, about how you can make it unique.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so question number 3. About 6 years ago, you said that one of the best cheap first cars you could get is a Miata. Do you still feel the same today?
No, that's actually changed. Damn, you've done your homework. I love it.
I was ready. I came prepared.
Yeah, I think 6 years ago, a Miata was a great option. But now there are so many, as time goes on, so many other cars come into market. The best car, if you're really on a budget, 5 to 10 grand range, I would really say, like, starting off with a salvage car isn't really that bad of a thing. I mean, I've bought tons of them. Depending on, you have to do your homework and kind of know what you're getting yourself into. But you can find salvage 350s. Man, this 370Z. When I bought my 350 4 years ago, I bought my 350Z for $6 grand cash salvage. Perfectly fine, a little bit bent at the frame. I straightened it out and it was all said and done. I got this 370Z for like, has 80,000 miles on it. I got it for $8 grand. That's insane. And even still, if that's out of your budget, there's E36s, like there's like 318s out there. There's so many good cars out there that are cheaper. Miatas and that 240 range, like S13s and stuff, they're just so old that everything is rusted and you almost end up having to replace everything suspension wise, before it's a good platform. And at that point, your budget's already reaching that 350 salvage BRZ range. So it's like, start there. I think that's a better opportunity at this point. And it's a little bit more modern, which is always good.
Definitely. Yeah, you can definitely score some deals out there, but like you said, definitely know what you're doing, know what you're looking at when you go check that stuff out, because it can be a risk sometimes.
Oh, it's a double-edged sword, no doubt. But I mean, like, if it's minimal, and you don't plan on reselling it right away, and you understand that whole aspect, and you make sure you can register it in your state, salvage cars can be a real come up if you know what you're doing.
Sure. All right, so switching directions a little bit, do you ever still wish that you made it into the NHL, or are you happy with the way your life has gone?
I do. That was like my always a dream as a kid. And I'm happy to say now that I have handfuls of teammates that are in the NHL now. I never really talked too much about my hockey background. I played hockey for 17 years. Looked at a couple D1 opportunities, looked at some D2 opportunities. Almost didn't go to college to play junior hockey and play or to try to play up at the NA. I mean, that was a really big part of my life, and I decided to hang it up early to pursue schooling because at that moment that was a better opportunity for me.
Right.
I'll always fantasize about it. But like I said, I have handfuls of teammates that I still talk to now and get to play with, every offseason that are in the NHL that are signing their NHL contracts. So I get to live a little bit through them, which feels good. And it's good to know that teammates that you grew up playing with, they're in the show now. It makes me feel like, I could have done it if I, stuck an extra year or so. Definitely. So for that, it makes good, but I'm happy where I am and I don't regret anything.
Awesome. That's super cool to hear.
what team would you want to play for if you got the
Oh,
opportunity?
dude, the Devils were always my jam.
Okay.
That was always my team. My grandpa played for the Montreal Canadiens. So I always was like, if I could play for the same team as him and have, that'd be always awesome. But, LA Kings, Devils, Canadians, those would be like my top 3 teams I'd want to play for.
All right, cool. Anyways, back to cars. Thank you for that answer. You've had coilovers on your cars. You've had air ride on your cars. You've had, the best of both worlds. Which one do you prefer?
I really think it's for what you're looking for. If you have a wide-bodied car and you're trying to roll around on static, I just feel like you're asking for a nightmare. When you wide-body a car, you're ending up making your car sit lower naturally. Like when you cut your fenders, the over fenders you do are going to allow your car to sit lower naturally. So if you try to make your car have good fitment on static and you're wide-bodied, it's doable. People live and die by it, which is great, but it's just not enjoyable in my opinion. So in that aspect, air ride is right up your alley. And people are always like, oh, well, it's so crappy. Well, they've never had it. And technology has come a long way in the last 5 years. And there are even some crazy like time attack drivers that are like setting world records on air, which means like if you really want to set it up, you can. I still love coilovers. I mean, I have a lot of cars that are still on coils, and I'll live by that. But I really think like it's what you're going after and what your budget is.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like if you're starting off, you're a new car build, definitely coilovers. But if you have the extra cash, I think air is a great option. I've had it for a while now. I've never had any issues, knock on wood, and I've really enjoyed it. I think it gets a bad rep sometimes.
It gets a really bad rep, and I don't really understand why people give it such a hard time. Maybe because they're jealous that you can just adjust all your settings and they're like pissed. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Air ride's great. Again, it has its purpose and it has its place. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you.
For sure. All right. So you've owned everything from BMWs to Subarus, Ferraris to Supras. What's your favorite car you've had and why?
Oh man. I mean, I definitely, it's hard to answer it just like opening a book, because then like you're playing in with like way different budgets.
Right.
But one of the best overall cars that I've ever owned, and I don't think you'll see it coming. I really don't think you'll see it coming. And I'll stand by this. One of the best cars that's like very affordable, that fits, all the categories, was the S550 Mustang GT that we had last year.
Oh, I was not ready for that. Okay.
That car, it doesn't do anything perfect, but it does everything just right. There's tons of space in the trunk. If that's your daily, there's tons of space to fit whatever you want, and there's back seats. If you want it to be stupid fast, we bought that car salvaged for $12,000 and got a Rouse supercharger, which, if you pay full retail for, is no more than $7,000. So just on that part alone, for under $20,000, we had a manual transmission, stock clutch, and it was warranted by Roush for 700 horsepower. That thing was fast. Like, no joke. People thought our reactions were like fake, but the thing moved. It kept up with my 458 on the freeway. I don't think you can ask much more for $20,000.
Oh,
There's tons of aftermarket support for it. The V8 is great. You can twin turbo it, you can turbo it, you can supercharge it, you can leave it all NA. The independent rear suspension is great if you know how to drive a car. It did everything really well. I really enjoyed every moment. It had cup holders. It had heated, cooled seats. You could change all the lightings, like you could have it be blue or purple or yellow on the inside.
Right.
The sound system was great. I mean, Dakota, I know it sounds stupid, but I loved that car.
Awesome.
It just did everything really well. And sure, like you go, yeah, the Avenger is my favorite car. It's really fast, but like that car sucks to take anywhere that's more than an hour away. And I can't drive the car for more than 4 days without driving myself crazy. That Mustang, could drive it every day, all day. And it got decent gas mileage for what it was. That car is epic. That car is epic. I mean, the rap that it gets, you know,
Get those nice amenities and then 700 horse for under 20K. It's perfect.
yeah, I just think of like a real, like all-rounded car that is affordable, great space, isn't gonna break the bank on insurance. Like that car is underrated, and I stand by that.
Wow, interesting. I'm glad I asked that because I was not expecting the Mustang.
I know. I know.
Cool. So you've had your fair share of run-ins with the police. Any tips for getting out of a ticket?
Yeah, don't be a dick. You know, if you get pulled over and you're speeding, or you get pulled over doing donuts, if you get pulled over and you have that like Honda Civic ricer can exhaust, like that's good. But like if you have that and you get pulled over and you show any bit of attitude, you're playing yourself, dude. You gotta look at it from their perspective. Every time I get pulled over, I try to be as like, you know, ignition off, hands on the wheel. He asked me to get my registration. Officer, it's in my glove box. Do you mind if I grab it? Like, just completely like put the tail between your legs, own up that that's his job. Like, he has more authority than you. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, it plays in my favor. I've gotten out of so many things just by being respectful and being like, oh, like, you're right. Like, I was speeding, I was doing this and that. And granted, like, if you get pulled over doing donuts or street racing, like, you're screwed. Like,
Yeah.
But if you are, you know, everyone always asks, in California, it's so hard driving modified cars. It's like, all my cars are what they are. I'm not going to say it on camera. But as long as you are just being a respectful citizen and you're not just being an asshat, a cop really won't try to like go out of his way to ruin your day. That's what
100%. I've had the same experience, you know, like they always ask the question, you know why I pulled you over? And I'm always just straight up with them. If I was speeding, yeah, I was speeding. They know why they pulled you over. There's no reason to lie or try and get out of it there. I've had a lot of good luck just being upfront with them, honest. Like you said, you know, hey, officer, is it cool if I go in my glove box to get my registration? They really respect when you give them respect. So
yeah. If you show them respect, you know, usually you'll get it back. I've had my fair. I mean, I've had a few instances where like it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. His day is revolved around you over. Which, you know, the moment you start playing with cars, you got to know you're. It's like swimming in the ocean. A shark's gonna bite you eventually. Like you're paying to play. That's the name of the game. For sure.
Okay, so now we're moving on to our subscriber questions. We post in the YouTube community. And they had some questions for you. So Taco Soup 1234 wants to know, what's a mod you completely regret doing to one of your cars?
One thing that I don't regret it, but like at times I'm like, oh damn, like I really love the way it was. Doing the GT3 kit on my 458. If you want to classify that as a mod, sometimes I regret it.
I thought it turned out baller.
So like it turned out great, but the moment I wide bodied it, the car became absolutely undrivable. If you saw it at SEMA, the kit is a GT3 kit. It's designed to have 4 inches of gap around every tire, and it's not designed to have flush fitment. And that was something that I tried to portray on the internet, but some people just don't really choose or care to understand or comprehend what we're saying in videos, which is what it is. So fitment, in the front was not physically possible to get the fitment you'd want on a street car. The geometry that you had, it just wasn't possible to be as low as you wanted and have the flush fitment. So you have to run a little bit weaker specs to be okay with that. We had it as low as we could, even just to get it into SEMA with the lift kit to get over the rugs. And then we still had, you know, a fair amount of gap.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I took it home, I drove it once on the street. I drove it on a rally, a Ferrari rally. Like the moment I got back from SEMA, I got invited by a Ferrari to go drive with them. And I drove it. And I even raised it like a half inch as much as I could without it just being ridiculous. And everywhere I went, I was smacking the front lip. I would be in the canyons just like taking on corners. My front like splitter would be scraping on this way, little imperfections on the road. But you're like, oh, I got it. Whack, you'd be smacking it. There are a few cars out there in the world that exist. They're all on air. I was on stock suspension because I kept the lift kit. It is possible, you know, but it made the car undrivable, which was one of the reasons as to why when someone came to buy it from me and they had a good offer, you know, I kind of was just like, hey, this was a great project. I wanted to reach this goal and I hit it. But I'll never really be able to drive this car how I want it. And the right buyer came along and I let it go. And you know what? I don't know if you've seen this, but they've The moment they had it, they sanded it, ripped it all apart, and they changed everything about it. And
Oh, really?
now,
Wow.
yeah, there's an account out there like just posted photos of it, but the guy lives in Houston. I think it's the owner of, I don't know who it is, but it's like at this crazy Ferrari race shop in Houston, and they like sand, so everything that it was is gone. It's not the green anymore. Pretty sure the wheels are about to be changed. They changed everything, and it's gone. The car is officially gone from the world.
Wow.
So like, kind of regret, like if I never would have done that, I would have had and I love the 458. I love the car for what it was. That car is epic and amazing for a supercar. And now it's gone forever.
Crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I got the chance to see it at SEMA, and it looked beautiful and perfect, but I never thought about the aspect of driving it and how much that changed.
Yeah, it was absolutely undrivable. And like I said, there's like one other car out there that's driven a lot. He's on like cups or air or something, I don't even know, but you know, to run the full like carbon fiber like splitter and stuff, it's meant for a racetrack. That's where it belongs, but it is what it is.
Interesting. Okay, Hein Bam asks, what was hands down the hardest car build that you've done this far, and why?
I don't know about hardest. I would probably like change his vocabulary to intimidating. I mean, I don't really know if anything's hard. Everything is wrenching and turning bolts, and once you get over the fact that a car is a car, you know, doing work on it is the same as any other car. It just takes longer to do. But probably the 458 was the hardest but easiest build we've ever done. Buying a crash car, knowing nothing about the exotic world, knowing nothing about what we were getting into. Working on it once we had the parts was a breeze. The engineering of how that car is built is like, it's like a 4-year-old could understand it. It was very simple, and it's all handmade. So, you know, everything is just nothing's hard to get to because it was all done by hand. And doing the GT3 kit and stuff, it was really, really hard to fit all those fenders and make them streetable. Hard, I mean, bodywork is bodywork. It was more so intimidating. It was the money, and that was at risk of like, oh, if we this up, like, you know, that's a lot of money down the drain.
Yeah.
It's probably the most intimidating thing we've done for sure. But it was just as hard as anything else. I mean, installing that kit was a little bit harder than installing a body kit on like a BRZ or like a Supra, but wrenching is wrenching, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I agree completely. Alex recently got a salvage title F430, and we put air ride on that. And we were working on it, we were really intimidated. Like you said, like, oh shit, we've never worked on a Ferrari before, you know. But once we dove into it, it's like you said, it's nuts and bolts. If anything, it's easier because those cars are generally more garage kept and everything. So all the bolts and stuff were just flying out, where I'm used to working on rusty Wisconsin cars that takes you 10 hours to get one bolt out, and you heated it up to holy hell. But yeah, it was actually nice. So I get what you're saying there too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so last question from Noe Haro. He wants to know if you have any plans on making a Street Hunter kit for a BRZ.
You know, so many people have asked me that.
Yes.
I mean, I've definitely thought about it, but there's a few things as to why I've haven't really jumped on it. One, with SEMA coming up this year, the C8 is something that we're really focusing on. You have to always think too, from a business perspective, what's gonna sell. You know, making cool shit is dope, but keeping the business alive is even cooler. So, you know, one, we're after the C8 right now. We have a V1 kit that we should have on the car in almost a month's time, and then we have to have our V2 kit ready by SEMA. And same thing with our Supra kit. We have a V2 made. It's just a matter of getting it done in time and fitting it and painting it and making sure it's ready by SEMA as well. So we kind of have those plans at the moment. And then we have our RX-7 parts that are still in cahoots. And then we have we still have some Aventador stuff to come out, and we still have some more stock body Supra stuff to come out. So we have a lot of stuff on our plate.
Yeah.
That I think people are like, oh, like you did a Supra kit, that's cool. Oh, and you're planning to do the C8 kit? Well, let's see when that comes out. It's like, yeah, that's what we're telling you. But there's also a full team working on it, a whole bunch of different areas. And just beyond that point, I've been so influenced over the last 5 years of aftermarket parts on a BRZ that I don't know if I would organically be able to come up with something without it taking too much influence from something else I've already been staring at for 5 years. And that's honestly my biggest fear. I think in the world of body kits and, you know, in the world of Pandem and Liberty Walk as like the big players, you know, growing up, that was my shit. Like one of my first videos on the internet is like, I want to have a turboed Rocket Bunny BRZ. So like I've been idolizing that for so long. And, you know, being in love with the V1, the V2, the V3, the V3.5, it's like, okay, well, how do I now make my own kit that looks nothing like any of the three that I've been staring at?
Right.
So until I ever like, you know, and I have a few renders that are done of a Street Hunter BRZ, stuff that we've never released. And, you know, we never really can release because if we show an idea that we've had, you know, someone's going to go and get her to make it. So there's a lot of kits out there for cars like the C8 renderings and the Super renderings that we have of other cars that I have and cars that I don't have that we want to do, but we can't ever release those photos until like we are 110% across every team member is like, yes, like we're going to do this project. And I think we're really trying to take it Street Hunter more serious than I think people realize. I think people are like, oh, that's the TJ Hunt Y body. It's like, no, that's Street Hunter Y body. And we're going to, you know, in 2 years, 3 years, we're going to have a bunch of different kits, a bunch of different cars. And as much as I love Pandem, like we're trying to play in their game. So it's a good question. It's a long answer to a really good question. I'd maybe one day there'll be one, but until I can really find the formula to it be unique enough to be its own kit, I don't know if it will ever come to market. And I can never show those renderings because I don't want them to get ripped off. So it's kind of like a little hidden gem. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're definitely busy. Bunch of crazy stuff going on. Yeah, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. Cool to know. Cool to see everything that's going to be happening. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to check out TJ on YouTube. I'm sure you have already. Go follow him on all the socials, Instagram, all that good stuff. And wheels, tires, suspension, fitmentindustries.com. Thank you, TJ.
Yeah, I want to give you guys a little shout out. I was all over your website when looking for wheels for my 370Z to check Fitment and stuff. So
awesome.
If you haven't done that, go to Fitment Industries. You're on their channel, so I assume you've done that. But your website has helped me out a ton. And literally like years ago, I was like looking for a website that does what you guys do. So I love that you guys have like conquered it and made the website super easy to follow and understand. So
that's
good
awesome.
job.
Thank you so much for that plug. Yeah, I remember in one of your videos you actually said a lot of people are stingy about their fitment and specs and stuff, and you've never been like that. And we're the same way. We have the whole gallery full of cars where we love to give out info so people know what wheels will fit their car.
I hate that people are so like, I'm not sharing my specs with you. It's like, you, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, why does it matter? Like, I have such a, I don't understand that. I'll never understand it. Like, people want their cars to be better than other people, so they don't share their fitments. That's so silly.
It's weird, but yeah, thanks, man. We're all good here. If you have anything for me, otherwise we're good to go. I can't thank you enough for doing this. It was super fun, super cool. It's gonna be a great episode.
All right, my dude. I'll talk to you soon, Dakota.
All righty, we'll talk to you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.